I felt more inspired to do it than I have in all these years. It was like something that's helping me turn loose of stuff I don't need. I don't know what it is, but I just felt different.
I love it. Sometimes you need a sounding board or validation that that's the right decision. You're a smart woman. We're both smart women.
We are.
We are. Hi, everyone. We are in day 2 of my friend Andi's home, and I'm along this wall that has all of the paperwork and other items that we are tackling today. Our goal is to take the aqua green kind of 4-bin storage and clear that out so she can sell it, and it will open up quite a bit of space. But come with us as we continue to make a dent in this.
It's voiceover Joyce. I wanted to jump in first and say thank you for your kind words and support of Andi. If you haven't seen week 1 or video 1, I'll link it in the description below. And we are going to tackle not just paperwork today, but some miscellaneous items. And, you know, making decisions isn't just like turning a light switch on and off. It takes some thought process and sometimes just takes some marinating before we figure out that we want to do things differently. So thanks for coming along this journey of change and decisions.
You know, the healthy advice I might want to keep for me. It won't take long for me to sort through that though.
So let's talk about that, because you give yourself a lot of to do and homework, and it sounds like you enjoy reading and doing that. But I think you give yourself too much. Do you feel like that? And then you don't get to it?
I think I have let it become too much. If I had kept up with it, it would have been okay.
Because yesterday you kept a lot of things that I would like to read that, or I like, and so it's like, how much are you willing to give yourself to read?
I didn't keep that much, did I, to read?
Well, we took a lot of books into your bedroom.
Oh, well, yeah, that's definitely, I bought those books to read. I'm going to read them.
Yeah, and we created a file that we started.
But
And
I've always felt like I have to do this first, you know, work before play, and reading is play. And so the tidying up, the organization gets in the way of doing what I want to do, which is read.
You're an all or nothing person, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah.
If I can't do it perfectly, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. What I would say is keep the ones you want to. But what I would also say is if we create a folder and that folder gets too thick, then I would question how much. Okay. Yeah. So let's just keep that as an awareness item.
Okay.
Because I don't want you to assign too much. A friend that I helped, I asked her, she goes, oh, well, I can give this to this school teacher and I can give this to a different school teacher. And I was like, okay, you're assigning yourself a lot of homework. You haven't done it all this time. She's a busy mom with 2 kids and a job and a household that she was not able to maintain. And she just thought about it for a little while and she said, no, you can take it to donate. I can't give myself all that homework to do.
Yeah.
So keep what you want to, but then you might need to do a second pass and say, yeah, I am keeping a lot. So I just want to heighten our awareness.
Okay. Well, and like I said, I think most of this can go in the trash. It was just kind of, I need to just go through. I have not looked at it since I brought it home.
Or do you want to try to do that, a quick pass now?
I think I can do a quick pass.
Okay,
right now.
let's do that then. Let's put the things that you want to read or do.
Okay.
We'll call it lifestyle.
Okay. I guess I really don't need this. Like you said, a lot of this is online.
Yes. Is this for cutting hair?
I think it was.
Yeah. It's a big thing.
Yeah, my mother's companion / caretaker also had been, in beauty school, and so she would cut mother's hair and stuff occasionally.
Do you want yard sale?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you use these plastic covers for anything?
Yeah, they're handy for belly dance costumes and things.
Okay. And then these others, do you want to keep those for your belly dancing stuff? Okay.
Because right now they're all in a bin and they're all tangled up together, so it would be helpful to
So this will relook.
pack them separately.
The box that I'm going through has a lot of different things, from plugs to a gate belt and miscellaneous. Now, some of the things that we will get to today came from her parents, and both of them have passed, so there will be some sentimental items.
Do you know what that is?
I don't. Is it like a squizzle stick thing?
The drive-in restaurants like Sonic
Yeah.
used to put those on the edge of cups. They were little mermaids and little animals and little like monkeys and elephants and
How funny.
people collect those. I'm like, I'm just going to keep it because it's a fun memory.
So do you want to keep it?
Yeah, I do.
Where would you keep it?
I don't know.
You could put it in your memory box.
We'll put it in the memory box for now. I might want to use it as a swizzle stick.
That's kind of what I thought.
There, and now I have an empty notebook.
Yay, okay.
And out of all of that, this is all I wanted to keep.
Okay, so what category is that? That's
Mom.
the scan
this,
one?
This goes into the mom stuff. And
Okay, so we have that over here. Okay, I'm gonna hand you, this is a lot of little stuff.
Oh, a lanyard. Ooh, a rusty lanyard.
Yes.
Hey. Since I'm in the mood, probably keep it if you weren't here, but
Wait, that makes me sound like a bad guy.
everything me into compliance.
You asked for it.
I did. I can't complain. Oh, it goes on the bulletin board.
Do you have a hardware drawer or for screws and loose screws and stuff?
Out in the garage, yeah. I guess we can have a box for
Here,
or something
let's
for
put
the
it in
garage.
one of the
Okay.
many little Ziplocs we have.
And some of it, the box I told you that was every time I find something broken,
Yes.
that's that box right here.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
It's stuff that, it's either screws and nails and things, or it's pieces of things that I need to find the thing.
Okay. So this looks like more hardware stuff.
It's kind of a mix because it started out being hardware stuff, and then it was like,
And screws.
and then it was like anything that just was a piece of something that I knew I had somewhere, but I just didn't have time to go hunt it.
Okay, so this is kind of your, I don't think you need those, do you? They look like they came part of a tube.
Well, it was covers over suction cups on a bath caddy. Where you stick it to the wall. So, yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go through your mystery box and like little ribbons and things like that.
Okay.
I think is good to go. I don't think you need that. So if I can clear this out just a little bit.
There's some of it we don't need to keep. Okay. My Lara Croft belt.
Is that what that is?
Mother got me hooked on the Tomb Raider video games long before the Tomb Raider movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
And one Halloween I went as Lara Croft.
Oh, fun! That's fun. How about taking this little stuff? So to me, this is electronics, like where we put your extension cord.
Yeah,
This would make sense to go there, so that could be a relocate.
Mm-hmm.
Here, we'll put this aside.
That goes to something.
I'm sure it does, but we don't know where.
One of these days I'll find it and go, wonder where the cord is to
I-
that.
yeah.
Which is why it's in that box. That's why I created that box. Like when I start saying, wonder where the cord is, I go, oh, I bet it's in the box.
Nope. Do you think you need this lid? Those
Well,
are,
sure.
Those are about a dime.
Can't you see how valuable this is?
I do, but they're about a dime a dozen.
I cannot imagine what.
So this is a lot of hardware, and I tend to keep like cords like that with the electronic section.
Sure.
So if you have a place where that maybe makes more sense.
Well, let me just do that, even with what we got yesterday, because.
So we're gonna mark this as screws and miscellaneous parts.
See?
Oh, perfect. So is there anything in there that you would put in your yard sale?
Actually, a good bit of it, which is why it was over there. But, for stuff like this, that I don't need telephone wires and I don't need 100 yards of cable and an old remotes.
Okay, pull them out now, because you're already making the decision.
Well, in that case, that just comes right back out then. Because I think pretty much the rest of this goes.
All of that is keep? Or,
No, all of
or
this
sell?
is go away. I figured I'd put it in the bin out there and say, everything for $2.
Well,
Take what you want.
can we transfer it to this box and then maybe we can use the bin for electronics you keep?
We'll get it all in there. Let's see, big stuff first.
Even if we have to tape up the sides or something. Okay. So this is yard sale. Got, this is more for medical, for lifting, right?
Yeah, it's a gate belt.
Do you want to put that or relocate to where you have your medical stuff? Or do you want to sell it?
I think donate it probably.
Donate? Okay. So is this relocate to your closet?
Yeah, and this is
Okay.
relocate to my jewelry box.
All right.
Oh
This
my goodness.
box in front
That
of you.
goes with my camera. Okay, I have to tell you, after you left yesterday,
Yes.
and after I kind of rested, and I started thinking about all the other stuff that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt more inspired to do it than I have in all these years. It was like, I think I can probably do this on my own.
I know you can. Sometimes
You
need a jump start.
Well, and I can't put my finger on it, but I learned something yesterday that's helping me with it.
Okay.
I don't really even have a good concept of what I'm trying to say, but it's something that's helping me turn loose of stuff I don't need. I don't know what it is, but I just felt different.
I love it. Sometimes you need a sounding board or validation that that's the right decision. You're a smart woman. We're both smart women.
We are. Well,
We are.
And that is, a lot of times, there's been stuff that it's like if somebody will just tell me, oh, that needs to go down there with the other batteries, or somebody just tell me, it's okay for me to let that go.
Yes. Yeah.
Car polishing sponge.
Do you polish your own car?
Not anymore.
Bye-bye. You can trash it or put it in your sale, but
Well, I don't know if it would anybody. I mean,
I don't think so.
I could put it out there in the box that says for free, because there's going to be a lot of that stuff that's going to be just like, please take this.
Oh, beautiful.
Do
Do you want to do that instead of put it in the
I
trash?
guess I could do that. Because somebody might use it, but they might not be willing to pay for it.
Yeah. Ooh, we have some more fortune cookies. Let's see if there's any magic in these. You will soon be crossing great waters on a fun vacation.
Wonder how long ago that was, because I've done that several times.
Okay, it was true. Aim for the sky, because even if you miss, you'll still be among the stars. So are you okay trashing these fortune cookies?
Sure. This one too.
These are exercise bands. Do you want them by your exercise stuff, or will you use them?
I've got some that are already out. I've got other exercise stuff out on the sunroom, so I'll just put them all together.
Well, how many do you need?
I don't know.
Do you want to sell some?
I don't think anybody would buy them. They give them away for free at the physical therapy place.
You could add it for free because
I could.
I'm going to ask again, how many do you need?
Well, you know, the different colors are different strengths.
Strengths, yes.
And I don't have a pink one.
Pink one?
I
Okay.
think I've got a green one.
Okay.
I may have a blue one.
All right. So put these
keep
in.
the pink one, I guess.
Okay. It's cute. I looked for a stocking but couldn't find a spare, so I ended up stuffing Santa's underwear. And then it's got the little pocket on the back.
That may have been Mother's. I can't remember.
Oh, it does have a pocket.
Mm-hmm.
How cute. You want to put that in the sentimental box?
Yeah. Oh, you mean this was just one box? I've got...
This is the, yeah, this one was quite full. This one is not as full, and I've already pulled out the cards and I've pulled out the receipts, but I'm going to see now if I can sort it a different way.
The briefcase over there against the wall, that's already been addressed, just FYI.
Okay.
I found it out in the garage. I'm not sure how I ended up with it because my aunt had put a sticker on it that's like keep for Sonia, which is my cousin.
Okay.
It's old newspapers from World War II, the end of World War II, and JFK assassination. So her dad taught history, and he collected those newspapers.
Wow.
And so I've already contacted her and said, you know, do you want these? And she said she did. So
When will you see her? Will you ship it to
August.
her? In August?
At the end of July or August, because her mother's the last living from that generation, and she's got dementia really badly.
So where do you think you could put those, like things that you're having designated to go to other people?
I usually put them out there in the utility room on top of the washing machine so that I get them as I go out the door whenever I'm going to that place.
Okay. So let me ask you, because, you know, with your taxes, you're supposed to only keep like 7 years. How far back do you want to keep for things like your medical billing and stuff like that? Similar to talking about receipts that are more than 7 years old.
That's the stuff that I usually put in a spreadsheet and then discard the whole thing, because what they send me in 6 pages, I can usually put on one line of a spreadsheet. It's like, I don't know why they send me all this information.
So my question is, you've lived without them being on spreadsheets all this time and have never had to go back and look at these.
But I want to.
Why?
That's another one of those things I can't really answer.
All right, I'm gonna update y'all. So we are still going through this green cabinet that y'all see in the corner. We've moved it out from the wall and into the laundry room area, utility room. And what we're still going through are the 2 baskets of paperwork that were in there. I am segregating what I can do to help, which is her cards. She's gonna go and do that for homework. She did some yesterday and took a fraction to keep and the rest let go. So she's got about 3 more of these little boxes to go through. And there's a lot of travel items in here, flyers, things like that. And her box of scanning is getting fuller. She has a good box of trash and shred. So it's just tedious and it takes time, but she's doing a really good job with that. And yeah, we're just chipping away. But it's nice to see some empty floor space over there, and we're going to keep going. We've had some heart-to-hearts too, because I'm trying to understand thought process. And we said, how wonderful is that not everybody is the same, because if they're the same, the world would be boring. And everybody processes different, and that's okay. And then in this chair, it's just a bunch of empties, empty folders, binders, boxes, and our empty bags. So lots of little sorting going on. We're getting there.
So, as we continue, I just want to share that there is more than one right way to do things, and what is right for Andi may not be right for you who are watching, and that's okay. What she is doing takes time and is a process. A lot of this paperwork she has had for many years, and there were things in that aqua green cabinet that were 10 years old. So at this point, what I am doing is sorting and trying to group like things with like. So when I hand them to her, it is a little more easier to process versus jumping topics of what you're dealing with.
Reminiscing. Your sentimental box still has a lot of room in it.
This stuff I just put in the sentimental box because I didn't know what else to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the, to be read files and all of that. It just sort of all ended up together. That's part of what I learned yesterday, is that there's some other categories that I didn't have names for.
I loved hearing that. Now, Andi is very detail oriented, and she just needed a little bit of guidance on how to create a little bit more of micro segregating versus macro. And I think some of the macro was getting her into trouble because it was mixing too many things alike, or that were not alike. And whenever she wants to go and scan items in or enter them into her Excel, if she runs across things that don't fall into those categories, it can be distracting or slow her down. So I am just trying to help guide her into categories that are going to help her flow in the future. Now, she also shared that she grew up with a work before play, and I did as well. But we have to give ourselves grace and know that all work and no play makes us dull, right? So we'll have more on that coming up.
I'm thinking there's a lot of stuff that I've got in files elsewhere that I remember filing that I don't need anymore.
Well, that's good.
It's like, I'm going to have fun going through the old files now.
Do you need a breather? Get something to drink? Take a break? I think we need to.
And maybe just sit back at least.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. So the good news is these are the only two piles. The bad news is I think this one's going to be pretty detailed. So we could also, is there any other box over here that's not paperwork that you'd like to do just to do something different?
No, I think I'd rather get through the paperwork. Yeah.
Okay.
That is the hardest for me to deal with, so it's...
Okay. Well, hopefully this one will be a little bit more fun for you because it's got tourist travel stuff and tourist stuff and maybe not as hard of decisions.
It'll be keep a little of it and probably trash the rest because at the time. But yeah, I think I want to sit back and just kind of...
I think that's a good idea. Take a breath. We could also relocate some things so you can get up and walk around for a hot minute.
like that.
Break.
So obviously, we ran a little into decision fatigue, and it is a good reminder to take breaks. It doesn't mean you have to quit for the day, but take a break. Even put a timer on if that helps you, and then come back to it. So I was just kind of making myself busy and straightening up and restacking items before we jump back in.
Keep that.
Do you want to keep your sombrero?
Not really.
No to the sombrero.
The red hat Cinco de Mayo decoration, and I put it on paper and took her picture, and she didn't like it.
We can put it in your yard sale for free box.
Okay.
Some little kid might like that.
Yeah.
Is this for your costumes?
That was a red hat gift for Mardi Gras.
Okay. Keep or garage sale? Garage sale.
It's pretty and intriguing, but I just don't need any more stuff.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. This is a nice wrapping box.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me relocate.
I'm going to put this in my homework file.
Is it your travel stuff or what is it?
Yeah,
It's gonna
because there's some of it that's like souvenir, and some of it was just I picked up a brochure about this thing, but we didn't go, and I need to sort through it and think, and my brain is kind of not thinking.
Okay, so
So I'm going to put that in the homework pile.
in the homework pile. Okay, I'll put it over. Whoa.
You okay?
Cords. I'm good. Excuse me, I have a question. Let me raise my hand. It's so cute.
I saw the cutest videos with this. I just thought these were so cute, but I had to buy them in a pack of 5.
Oh,
And so I've been giving them to teachers as I
Oh,
come
how
across.
fun.
But it was just this. And those were a red hat thing. I have more pens than one person could use in 5 lifetimes.
yard sale. Okay.
I don't even think those are terribly cute.
Oh, here's your other one.
Yep. I think I've got 3 of these left.
So, do you have like a gift
I do.
box?
Yep.
Okay, so then we'll relocate that.
And I did I talked to a teacher friend of mine. I'm like, would you want something like this? And she said, oh, yes. Since I've got dance tonight. But
This is electronics. Is that key?
yeah.
This one never moved, so I don't think it's working.
All right. I think we'll throw that away. This one,
Yeah.
this one works. I know.
Yeah, that looks a lot. This did not move at all.
It got hot.
That's not good. I'm gonna have you take a break for a hot minute
Okay.
and go through this instead of
Instead of paper.
paper. Because
Okay.
I'm thinking these are gonna be easier decisions for you. Okay, you have a lot of shower caps.
You know what those are good for?
Putting over casserole dishes.
Putting over your shoes.
Shoes when you
pack.
travel.
Mhm.
Is that what you use these for? Do you have some already?
I don't.
Okay, so I can put them in a
I've been
Ziploc
using
bag.
grocery bags, and I don't like using grocery bags.
Can I put it in one of these bags? Sure. Okay. Bonnets.
Those were mothers.
Or
You know, when our mothers had
Yes.
every one of them had a rain bonnet with the little
My mom had it.
accordion things. And,
yeah. Because
as
they
it-
would get their
I
hair
think,
set.
I think I counted something like 7 or 8 of those little accordion ones that she had.
Yeah.
Um,
You want them in your yard sale?
sure.
Okay. What about these little shot cups?
Aren't they cute?
Will you use them? Realistically.
I have used one for taking pills because it's easier to pour them out of that into my mouth and get them in my hand. I take a lot of supplements, and I'm forever dropping them, so I started putting them in those cups.
Okay,
So
would they belong in your bathroom or you take your supplements here?
here,
Okay, so then do you have a place for
I
them?
would probably put them in the corner up there in the cabinet
Okay.
with the dishes. And that goes in the giveaway, go away
Okay.
stuff.
Can I put the rocks in a Ziploc or put the whole
Sure.
thing in a Ziploc
Yeah,
so it
yeah,
can be contained? Okay. I'm just pulling, this is kind of like a box of hodgepodge.
That was stuff that came from my office.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna hand things to
Did-
you.
Did you see that this was our agency bean count?
Ah.
It was a joke. Because we were always having to make our numbers and get the bean count.
That's cute.
And of course, I don't need it anymore, but
This is pretty.
that was my soothing glass. That little swirl just made me feel good.
It's pretty. It kind of reminds me of water.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The other one in there kind of reminds me of a ship on the water.
Well, let's just pull this out because this is a bulky box and it's really pretty. Will you put that like on the shelf somewhere, or where are you
I'll
thinking?
probably put it in my curio cabinet or something.
Complaint department, please take a number. That's funny.
I found the grenade at an antique store, and my dad made the whole
He
thing.
made it.
Yeah.
Your dad had a sense of humor.
Yes, he did.
Ah, that's awesome.
And while I don't know what I'm going to do with it, I can't give that away.
Yeah. And it's gorgeous.
That's the one that, when you turn it up with it kind of reminds me of a ship on the ocean, just kind of vaguely.
It's beautiful.
It's just glass.
Is it?
I bought both of these in Arkansas at a rock shop that they had a whole bunch of slag glass.
It makes you feel
It
good.
made me feel good.
Where could it have a place of honor here in your house?
As heavy as it is, it maybe needs to go outside.
Oh, okay.
You know, like on my patio,
Like, yeah.
you know, have a
That makes
table
sense.
or something out there maybe.
All right, everyone, this is our progress. We have a little bit of floor, but as Andi just said, if we move the stuff that we've worked on over here, it's not as much of a dent. So there's memorabilia, there is to scan in. This is active stuff like receipts, things she wants to read. That box over there is electronics. That's yard sale donation. That's homework, which are mostly greeting cards. And this is the second box of trash. So yesterday we had a full box, and now she's got another, and then she's got shred over there. And then this little blanket's going to trash. So yeah, it's progress. And yes, once those stack back up, it won't look as clear of a floor, but it's organized and structured. Everyone, we are at the end of day 2, and we were able to get through that aqua green 2 tubs. So now she can sell that unit. We have a whole box of trash, and some of that is going to go into the shred. She has a little bit of shred. Everything else is organized, and she's got some floor space here. So we were able to relocate a lot of the stuff that was over here too. So all of this is wins. Paperwork is tedious, and there's great questions you can ask yourself of, do I really need to keep this? Can I shred it? Can I access this online? But in the end, you also have to do what's comfortable for you. And are you willing to store it, or are you willing to let it go? Just a little tidbit is things that she thinks she wants to read. We're saying, let's put those aside. If that folder gets too big, then she can decide later to do a second pass. So everything doesn't have to be done in a first pass. It's always okay to do a second pass. So thanks for coming along this journey with us. I appreciate your support. I'm going to close like my dad always closes voicemail messages. Bye for now.